What is up, bro? It's me, Josh, here bringing you a quick video on the Tier 6 German battleship, the Bayern. The Bayern, in my opinion, is the first big battleship that people are loving in the line. Now, I like the entire line throughout so far. The Nassau I thought was a fantastic Tier 3. The Kaiser I thought was an okay Tier 4. And the Koenig I think is a fantastic Tier 5. But they played different. They didn't play like the typical battleship would, I guess. They tended to be a bit faster reload, hitting not as hard. They were like almost like a kind of a hard hitting cruiser, if you will. They weren't getting those big citadel hits from battleship on battleship. You were chunking them down at some really good shots broadside. The Bayern, I think, is the first ship that a lot of people are really liking in this line because it gives you that battleship feeling, and the reason why is the main artillery. And we'll kind of get that in a little bit, but let's jump over the survivability really quick, then we'll jump right into the highlight of this ship, which is the main artillery. Well, the Bayern is boasting. Well, the Bayern has 51,600 life, so it is pretty on par with everything else at its tier health-wise. The Fuso, I think, has a little bit more. Other than that, I think it's pretty solid. The Bayern health pool has never been a problem on this ship that all I've played it, and it has some awesome survivability. Relatively good armor from 25 millimeters to 305s, with its gun casement and its citadel having relatively high armor, so it's kind of nice. You can be a German battleship and not really take those big citadels. I am really liking that part of the line. Yes, the torpedoes tend to kind of beat up this line a little bit, 21% torpedo protection damage, but with how this ship plays and the secondaries, and I wasn't having the problem as much as I think some lower tiers, but I'm liking it, and they may see a little bit of problem getting to the higher tiers, the long-range torpedoes, but although it's only 21%, I think the ship was still doing really well against other destroyers in the area. Now, kind of the highlight is the main battery. The reason is because the shells are freaking massive. You are almost up to the Warspite level, and that is the reason why this ship hits so freaking hard at tier 6. I mean, this thing is awesome. 380 millimeters. It's only barely outshined by the Warspite. Reload time of 30 seconds. Now, I think in the lower tiers, they were about 26 seconds, so you kind of shot faster. It's almost kind of like the Tirpitz. But this one is kind of that big, busty battleship. I mean, this thing is wrecking other battleships broadside. It will deliver the big citadels and really even kind of up tiers really well, because you can absolutely smash broadsides on battleships. You're launching big shells at these guys. AP is hitting at 10,900 at 17.7 kilometers, as well as HE hitting at 4,500 with a 35% chance of fire. So that's actually not that bad. Maximum dispersion at 223 meters, not too bad. I thought it was doing relatively well. One of the downsides is, I guess, a little bit shorter firing range, which tends to be one of the downsides tends to be the firing range at 17.7. I was not really having that much of a problem. The ship's stock already is kind of stealthy, especially even if you somehow get a 15-point captain, maybe from a Tirpitz or a Scharnhorst that you've been working on for a while. I wasn't really having that much of a problem. It does affect up tiering a little bit more, but I think with the kind of armor it has, it was doing relatively well, even high tier. AA defense, I thought the AA defense was pretty well. You have an AA rating of 45, and this is without a captain, without AFT or BFT, so I was noticing that this line had very strong AA for its tier. I think it even outshines New Mexico. Yeah, even with the New Mexico, with a decent captain, it's actually doing better. So, just the Fuso's a little bit more. I think my New Mexico didn't have a AA captain, but pretty solid AA. I was having a pretty solid time shooting down planes. 4.5, so you're going to be, what is that, just over 5, about 5.5 or so, just under range of effective AA if you have advanced firing training, so that's pretty solid. Max speed of 25 knots, so okay speed for a tier 6, 630 meters for turning circle radius, 11.1 for rudder shift, and 13.4 detection range. Almost 25 kilometers, so there's going to be no stealth firing in this ship, but almost 25 kilometers when spotted, but almost 11 when detected by air. So the highlight of this ship is going to be the main bat and these guns. Now, like I said, these shells are so massive that you can actually up tier relatively well, and I was doing well against tier 8 battleships. Amagis, Nordkals, if they were giving me a broadside, I was smacking them and I was hitting them a little bit, and they were feeling the wrath of these German battleships. I've found this line to be a lot of fun because it plays different. The lower tiers at least, up until 5. The Bayern feels like that big battleship. It's a relatively slow reload, so it feels a lot like a Warspite when you kind of play it. About how hard you can hit stuff. You can overmatch. This thing can pick on Dunkirts right now who are trying to do that kind of front in, and pray to God that it works. Uh, Basically, almost any angle you're panning, just hitting damage. If a battleship's even trying to go away or into you, you're doing a really, really good job at just absolutely punishing them for being broadside. This ship has, one, been a lot of fun, and two, with the secondaries as well. At almost 5.5 kilometers, you're rocking with advanced firing training. You're rocking almost 6.5 protection. This ship is pretty solid. I didn't. The downside of the ship, I don't know if there really is one. Maybe if it was a bit farther range, a bit better torpedo belt, I think it'd be too OP then. It's a German ship again, though, so you don't really need to worry about being broadside. Taking the monster citadel damage. Of course, you don't want to be broadside, just taking the big shells. But this ship has been a blast to play, and I think a lot of people that didn't even like the Koenig at Tier 5 are really enjoying this ship because it's that big battleship feeling. That Koenig at Tier 5 was not getting that, if a New Mexico's going broadside, or I guess at Tier 5, the Congo's going broadside, you're not guaranteed those big Citadel hits, even if you're aiming perfectly. You're not guaranteed that because it had the smaller caliber shells. But the Bayern is absolutely dunking on people, and I think that's what a lot of people are really, really enjoying right now. So this is kind of that first ship that feels like, although the other ones, they felt like battleships, of course, because you get it and they could absolutely smash cruisers. This one is that big battleship. Let's brawl, let's have some fun, and let's go kind of hit for hit. Now, one thing I kind of noticed on the design is it's a very, very New Mexico size design. If you kind of look at it, comparing it to the New Mexico. So it looks very New Mexico to me. I mean, a bit smaller, I guess, and so it must have been relatively easy to code this into the game, in my opinion. I kind of noticed that the other day. That is almost identical, so a bit smaller. But this line, though, I'm loving this line. It has really, for me, revitalized my battleship play and how much fun I've been having it, and I'm excited to continue up through the line. I have the Geniza now next. I could technically get it right now, but I'm waiting to kind of get some more free XP so I can kind of free XP the modules. But this line has just been fun, and I think this is a ship that is definitely a keeper. I think it's a fun Tier 6. Tier 6 is an amazing tier for a lot of ships. And right now, with the Warspite, with the Arizona adding the 2 premiums, you have 5 really, really good battleships to play. That's awesome. That's a fantastic tier for battleships, and I'm glad this one kind of... It's not like a unique play style, it's just that fun battleship. I can hit people really, really hard, whether you're in a cruiser, whether you're in a battleship, whether you're in an aircraft carrier. I can absolutely punish you because I'm launching 380 millimeter shells every 30 seconds. So good luck trying to avoid that. For captain skills, what I would run is I would run BFT for some extra secondaries. Now, if I was higher tiers, I would run that for basic survivability. But for lower tiers, I would run basic firing training, extra marksmanship number 2, vigilance number 3. Like I said, higher tiers, you could probably run maybe like a superintendent, but I like vigilance on the battleships, especially you're getting into some kind of long-range torpedoes, so you want to avoid those as much as possible. AFT, definitely, you want to increase those AA and secondary ranges. The 5th, I would probably still go with stealth build. I do like it a lot. You drop it down a decent amount, down to about 11 kilometers or so for detection, or about 12, I guess, 12 and right around 12. Or you could go maybe like a secondary build and just get ready for the Bismarck with its nasty, nasty secondary. So that's not a terrible idea either. Roll AFT with the manual secondaries. So something to kind of keep in mind, maybe preparing a captain for that fun build on the Bismarck at Tier 8. But all in all, the modules I run on this ship are main armament 1 for the increased main bat and the survival. Aiming mod system 1 for secondaries as well. Lack of fire, so damage control system mod 1, and turning. So pretty standard for a battleship. But yeah, guys, I really like this ship. I'm excited. It was a very easy quote-unquote grind. It wasn't even a grind. I think the first day I had this ship, I think I played like 20 games straight in it and almost won every one. This ship is that first real battleship feeling ship. Up until then, you weren't really getting those big citadels on the battleships and the Kaiser and the Koenig because of the lack of big shells. This one jumps up from low 300s, I think, right around 300 something to 380. The Warspite has like 381s. These are big shells. You can punish people. It's a lot of fun to play, guys. I hope you guys are having fun playing this. And I really hope you guys are enjoying the game right now because I'm having a blast playing the game, and I think the German Lion is part of that. So, really hope you guys have some fun out there. Good luck with your Bayern, good luck with your grind, and good luck going throughout the lines, guys. The Gneisenau is next, and then the Bismarck follows. Excited for those ships if they're more like this. Until then, though, I will see you guys next time. Let me know in the comments below how you guys are doing with the Bayern and how your games are going. And I'll catch you next time. We'll see you guys later.